Hey y'all, what's happening? I'm Ivy and you're Ivy Vibes. And we are going to see what it is that you need to know. Alright, so I've already pulled the cards and I will clarify with this other deck what we have for your main situation. The energy that is surrounding your situation right now is vulnerability. So either you are being really open about something or someone, or you need to show more vulnerability. You could be being real vulnerable at this time, or you may need to show more vulnerability. What we have that is blocking you and crossing you is communication. So from this, I would say that you need to be and show a bit more vulnerability, because we have communication as the crossing thing here. So there's something that the lines of communication is not there. There's a barrier there when it comes to communication. Maybe you don't know exactly how to express whatever it is that you are feeling, or that's not something that you are familiar with. So it is a bit of a challenge for you. It might be a particular thing that you are experiencing that you never experienced before, which is making it challenging for you to be vulnerable and to actually communicate in this situation. So what we have subconsciously that is affecting you is allow. And so with allow, this is the ability to let things happen without having control. So that may be something that is really challenging for you when it comes to this situation. Maybe you're someone that always needs to feel a sense of control, and you're trying to be very hands-on with everything, and that's the way that you may end up dealing with things. And so because of that, and you not just allowing things to happen, that could also be something that is getting in the way when it comes to this communication and you being vulnerable. Maybe that's something that is very foreign to you. You don't want anyone to see how vulnerable you may be feeling at this time. So what we have as far as what you know is fulfillment and obedience. Okay, fulfillment and obedience. So there's certain things that I feel you are being obedient to, and that could be fulfilling whatever obligations that you may know that you need to fulfill, whatever is there that you know that's required of you. You could be doing just that, being very obedient to doing the job at hand, fulfilling all obligations, making sure that whatever it is that you need to do on your end is being done. But the situation is also dealing with grief, which is in your recent past. There's something that you may just be doing purely out of obligation when it comes to the obedience and fulfillment. And that's not really helping you mentally, especially when you are dealing with this sense of grief here. So what we have coming in the near future is willingness. So there is this desire, I would say, willingness, if you will, to possibly do more. We'll see what that is actually in regards to when we clarify. But it does feel like you're not completely closed off, or you won't be completely closed off right now. It might be a bit challenging for you. And that is the thing, you know, where communication comes in, that maybe you're just not ready to talk because you are still dealing with some form of grief, and everything else you're just doing is like you're on autopilot and doing whatever you need to do right now. And so after a certain, you know, sense of obligation gets fulfilled, you will be more willing to go in and possibly allow communication to happen, open up, and be more vulnerable with your emotions, or even whatever it is that you have. So the situation, the energy around the situation, whatever it is that you are dealing with specifically, or a person, is wholeness. So there's something, I would say, within this situation that may bring about a sense of wholeness, but it's not something that you may feel right now. But I do feel that that is something that is occupying the energy around everything that's going on. And this could be something too where it's, how can I say this? Just certain things need to happen in order for that to really take place. The energy that we have with you specifically is balance. So there is a need to have some balance because, again, especially if you're dealing with grief, you could be leaning more towards one side of things than the other. And so there could be this teeter-tottering kind of effect when it comes to your emotions, how you're handling things. But what we have for your hope and fears is integrity, having the ability to be able to show a form of integrity in everything that you're doing, which would also go into what you already know, which is the obedience and fulfillment, doing what you feel like you need to do, because that is honoring the integrity that you have for yourself. And for the outcome, possible outcome, we have opportunities. So the opportunity could be a myriad of things, but this is leading you into different possibilities. Okay, so let's just see now what vulnerability is about. And again, this is the energy that is surrounding your situation right now. Why do we have vulnerability here? We have the Queen of Wands, and it feels like we have vulnerability there because you may be someone who is very courageous, has a lot of leadership qualities, very compassionate, but you also have a sense of confidence with you. Okay? And so the Queen of Wands is also like very attractive. And so I would say that the vulnerability is there because that may be a quality that may not necessarily or essentially be seen when it comes to the Queen of Wands, but that energy is where you are at. Also, if you are not being vulnerable, or I would say even if you are being vulnerable, that could be something that makes you more attractive. Or would make you more attractive. Because honestly, it's like, it could, I guess it could kind of go either way. There could be a side of you that is showing to be very vulnerable, but maybe not in the way that people would initially expect you to be, because we have communication as a block. So I'm going to say it this way because it could go either way. Either you're not communicating and that's a block, or you could be over communicating because you're feeling such a sense of vulnerability, which could be something that, oh my gosh, is a bit of a block, but maybe not in the way that you think, because it could just be in the way that things are being expressed. Like, say with communication, maybe you're doing more, communicating more in a way of crying or being angry, because how we display our emotions is also a way of communicating, rather than actually speaking. Or you could be communicating in a way where you're being very, very verbal, but not actually outwardly showing it. And so there's a block when it comes to the communication in regards to maybe who you are communicating to, how you are communicating, and so forth. So when it comes to I'm sorry, we have to see about the communication. We have the Seven of Swords. And so this is where the block comes in. So there is a bit of deception in the communication, and that is why it is the thing that is the challenge. So I will say it like this: it's not that you don't have integrity, but I feel like the perception that is being given here may feel like it is one of deception and dishonesty because of the way that the communication is happening. So let's see now, why do we have allow here? We got the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this individual may be someone that you look up to. This could be someone who you have allowed to come into your life, allowed to give you some form of advice when it comes to financial matters, allowed to show you, not even show you, but someone that is there, but they are there in regards to how you receive financial advice. Okay, so let's see why we have fulfillment and obedience here. Why do we have fulfillment and obedience here? Four of Wands. Okay, because this is dealing with Four of Wands, with possibly something with family, and it could be a marriage. So you could, to a large degree, feel as though there's some form of obligation that you need to be obedient to fulfill when it comes to your family life, a marriage. Let's see, why do we have grief here? We have the Page of Swords. So it feels as though somebody may be watching and checking on you when it comes to that, or this could be, yeah, I would say that maybe somebody's like watching the way that you are moving, and keeping tabs on how you are handling a situation. So willingness, we have the Five of Pentacles. So this is showing, someone that really is kind of out in the cold. but how willing are you to put yourself in that type of a position, okay, when it comes to this whole situation. Let's see, why do we have wholeness here? It's the energy around what you're dealing with, the stars. So there's like this hopefulness here, possible hopefulness of wholeness, needing to heal and feel whole again. Let's see, why do we have balance? Why is balance here? Why is balance here? Seven of Pentacles. We have balance here because it's something that you are waiting for. You could have been putting a lot of work into yourself, trying to do a little bit of this and do a little bit of that, and maybe things just aren't panning out the way that you want them to. So balance. The Seven of Pentacles is something that you are waiting to have happen. And then for integrity, we have the Hermit. So maybe you don't really show a lot when it comes to having integrity, but that could be something that you really stand on. It's just maybe a lot of people may see things in their own way and feel like you don't. And then as far as opportunity, we have the Knight of Wands. So I feel like you're taking your time, or opportunities could be taking their time when it comes to coming around. Will maybe take a little bit longer to come around to you than what you are hoping for with the Knight of Wands, but nonetheless are coming. And I'm sorry, not taking this time, coming quickly. I'm sorry, I was thinking about the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Wands is something that happens rather swiftly. Also comes in very determined and just kind of knows what they want. Like they're kind of headstrong. So it feels like there's these opportunities that will be coming in that will give you that opportunity to just kind of like move forward with things like really fast. So let's see what we can get to tie all of this together with this situation. The main thing that you may be dealing with this situation is definitely dealing with building, getting yourself seen, establishing yourself, walking away from things that don't serve you when it comes to this situation, and building on the inner strength that you have and being decisive when it comes to any actions that you need to take and how you think about things. Thinking about things very logically, okay, and not allowing yourself to be ruled by your emotions, which may help when it comes to the whole thing of being vulnerable and communicating, okay, needing to really state whatever it is that you need to, but make sure that you're doing it in a clear and concise way so that it doesn't feel as though you are holding back or being deceitful about anything, because that may be a perception of people simply because of the grief that is there, that is being dealt with, you know, around your situation. So I hope that this was insightful for someone. I haven't done, I feel like, a reading like this in a minute, and I haven't. Anyway, if this resonates with you, I would ask that you would be so kind as to give me a thumbs up, to like this video. Also, share it if you feel that someone can benefit from it. Subscribe to my channel. I would absolutely adore you for that. And definitely leave me a comment if you feel like this is your situation. Thank you guys so much for coming to my channel, watching this video. I'm Ivy, and you are at Ivy Vibes. Until the next time, be well.